Hi there, this is Rosemary, and this is the Light Walker's Path. And I'm Rosemary DiTrolio, your guide. This is a place to find purpose, your enlightened conversations, and inspirational people like today's guest, Nicolas Nami. And Nicholas is an amazing person, a multidisciplinary audio and visual creator with over 30 years experience in motion design, filmmaking, animation, and post-production. He leads Nami Pictures and has founded Meetup Masters, a professional community for creatives and professionals to collaborate. How are you, Nicholas?
Hi, Rosemary. Thank you for having me on your show. I am so excited. There are so many things we got to talk about, so many things. So, thank you for
Love it.
having me.
I'm so excited. I loved your book. I know that well, first thing, tell everybody the name of your book, and then I'll discuss that with you.
Yes, my book is called The Art Line.
Okay.
It's a manifesto. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's the name.
Cool. So I know what an art line is because I read your book, but in about a sentence or two, how would you tell people that are listening what is an art line?
Um, what is an art line? Well, the art line is the sentence behind your work, not your style, not your software, not your medium, the deeper reason you create at all. It's the line that keeps you from drifting into imitation trends
Hmm.
and empty output, I would
Love
say.
that. Love
Yeah.
that. So I wrote you my art line after reading the beginnings of your book. Well, I read you through your whole book, but
Yeah.
it said to create one. And to me, I consider that like mission and purpose. So mine is I create to remind others that joy and light can exist for everyone. My work
Nice.
bites, I used embraces. My work embraces alchemy. I am a catalyst. And I can't
Hmm.
make anything unless I believe that God holds me gently, and I do. And the words I live by are you are loved.
Oh, that's so nice, Rosemary.
That kind of
That
matched.
is so beautiful.
Thank you. But it really got
That
me
kind of
thinking, you know?
it describes you, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, my mission, my mission. But
Yeah.
I love that you had made mention of several things. One of the things I really loved is when meaning is missing, the word becomes noise. And that's
Hmm.
kind of the
Hmm.
difference between AI and human intelligence, heart and energy. And I really
Hmm.
resonated with actually your whole book. I resonated with your whole book, but the viewpoints you hold are amazing. Like I think that was great. I know people fear AI, but you're saying we don't have
Yeah.
to worry about that. We are creatives.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes, yes.
so speak on
Um, yeah. So, well, I'm not anti-AI at all.
neither
I
am I.
love technology. Good.
Mhm.
We're not anti-technology at all. We're
No,
not against it.
no.
Um, However, I am anti-emptiness.
Yes.
I because that could bring in depression. You could be lost, confusion, all sorts of things, right? So I think AI can help make things. It's a
Hmm.
tool. I always
Hmm.
compare it to that drill. It's a
Yeah.
drill. You know,
Hmm.
it helps you do things
It's a
faster,
tool.
quick.
It's a tool.
Yes. So it cannot care. It cannot remember. It cannot bleed.
Hmm.
So the real question is not whether we use tools. It's whether the human behind it, but behind the tool, still has something real to say.
Love that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's my position about AI. I love it. I
Yeah.
mean, like every day, new things come in.
Yeah.
Um, there are all sorts of debates about it nowadays. You would probably run into all sorts of things about, oh, AI is going to do this and that. Um, but I don't think it's anything we got to be afraid of. It's a
Hmm.
tool. It's something
Yeah.
that we need to use to express ourselves, especially if we're creatives, and we all are
Hmm.
creatives, in my
Yes.
opinion.
Yes.
Um, and it's just makes life easier.
I love
Yeah.
that. I also know, I like you said creative process has a soul. And I always think of when you're writing or creating or communicating from your heart, the energy is so different than just reading
Hmm.
a line. It's kind of like when you see a bad actor on TV. If they don't know how
Yeah.
to act, you don't believe it. So when
Yeah.
it's from their heart, you're like, wow, I can really believe them. And that's like acting from
Yeah.
their soul center, I guess I'd say.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah, it's that oomph. I
Yeah.
don't know how to describe it. It's like that example that you mentioned about an actor is very true. You know, some good actors I would think of when they say a line, it sounds like you
You're feeling it.
connect, you're feeling it, you
Yeah.
know, versus
Yeah.
somebody who's just okay, just give me the line so I could get my paycheck
Yeah.
and leave.
It's the same thing when you hear a song, like when you watch like American Idol or those singing shows, when someone doesn't understand the lyrics and maybe have lived through it or didn't have that experience or able to tap in,
Yeah,
it just sounds like they're
yeah,
singing notes. It's not like you can't believe it. And that's what makes a
yeah,
difference between like a great singer and one that's just singing the notes, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that we're mentioning like what's broken in the creative culture,
Hmm.
um, it's not like we're gonna be stuck here. We're gonna
Hmm.
talk about how to change it, how to
Hmm.
make it better and be more positive. But the problem with the creative culture right now is we reward speed,
Yeah.
polish,
Yeah.
clicks, engagement. Um, like, when you post something, you look at the insights of your Instagram. How well did it do? And all
Yeah.
that. Those things are not the same as impact. A lot
Yes.
of creators are technically stronger than ever, right? But emotionally disconnected from
Yes.
what they're making,
I
So
agree. I agree. And you know, it really got me thinking when I read that in your book, I was thinking of the great masters. Like when I went to Italy and I was looking at these gorgeous oil paintings, or you see something that took Michelangelo months and months to make, and it's
yeah.
so incredible. And now everything is so
Mhm.
quick. There's no I guess no time invested. And
Mhm,
it's just
mhm.
different now. It's different, but I agree. You know, speed isn't always the
Yeah.
goal. Yeah, it isn't always
Yeah.
the goal.
And what every artist, every creative, every human needs, in my opinion, is not more tools first. The tools
Mm-hmm.
are great. They're exciting. You go to a store, oh my God, this thing is so cool,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that shouldn't be first.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there should be truth first.
Mm-hmm.
What am I
Absolutely.
going to make with this tool at this Home Depot, right?
Yes.
Not
Yes.
just like walk to Home Depot. Yeah, all these tools,
Buy everything.
right? Yeah, just buy everything. You could
Yeah.
get lost. So you have to find your voice
Yeah.
before your medium, in my opinion,
Yes.
um, because style can be copied.
Oh yeah.
AI does a great job copying, and
Mm-hmm.
mixing and randomizing and creating a
Yes.
new one, but voice, in my opinion, can't.
I
So you
agree
have
with
to have your
that. That's
voice.
beautiful. And I think it's the same. Like I also write. So I know that when you're creating a character or you're writing, there's a voice of your character that comes through. And a lot of it is based on who you are as a person. And let's say how
Hmm.
you're creating that character is very reflective of, let's say, younger me, older me. It's just pieces of ourself that we're bringing out. And I think when
Hmm.
you develop a strong core of who you are as a person, you're better able to
Hmm.
transmit that energy out into your art or into the world. And it comes from a
Hmm.
core
Hmm.
of being authentically who you are. And I think that comes
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
time and maturity, depending upon, what someone's been through in life and how they're positioning themselves in life.
Yeah. And it all comes down to impact, right?
Hmm.
So as a human, you're here, you would love to make an impact, but
Absolutely. Yeah.
you're that kind of makes you feel like, hey, you did something with your life. You did something while you were alive, right?
Yeah.
So, what makes art impactful? We get to that, right?
Hmm.
What makes you impactful? Um, I break it into four things.
Okay.
I like simplifying things. I don't like clutter. I made it into intention,
Yep.
clarity,
Mm-hmm.
audience,
Mm-hmm.
and delivery.
Love that.
If one is missing, the work may be seen but not it won't be felt. So you
Yeah.
want people to
Yeah.
feel it, right?
Yeah.
So those four things, in the book, it does talk about it, how to use it,
Mm-hmm.
how to pay attention to it. Um, Intention is why you
Attention.
made it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Intentions, why you made it. It was because of this. I felt like this.
Mm-hmm.
And clarity is whether people can actually feel what you mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Audience is who it's for. That's
Right.
super important.
Yeah.
I yeah, I kind of learned that from marketing, like
Mm-hmm.
in marketing, one of the first things that they teach you is like, who is your audience? You have
Yeah.
to pay attention to who your audience is,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So
That's
you
right.
can't just, oh, whenever
Oh,
you go like,
God.
oh, this is for the world, this is
For
for
everyone.
everybody, that's wonderful. That could be
Salutes it.
for everyone, but it makes the job so much harder. I mean, like I
Yes.
know, you know, I would start smaller, go like this is for carpenters,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and then see if you could expand to a wider audience.
It's so
So that could help you.
interesting. I love the
Yeah.
idea of intention because I know that whatever I do, like I set my day with intention when I begin. And
Hmm.
what's interesting, and I was just thinking on my podcast when you were saying this, when I started my
Yeah.
podcast, I was assuming that people in
Hmm.
my age group would be the only people listening to my podcast. And after I looked at all my
Hmm.
numbers, I'm like, gosh, I got people in the 30s and 40s and 50s. And like, I was like, that's super
Yeah.
cool. But I guess
Yeah.
what it is when you're dealing with universal messages of consciousness and growth, it
Hmm.
hits so many
Hmm.
different things. But my
Hmm.
focus is always still like growth and movement
Yeah.
and guidance. However way
Yeah.
that comes in, and I think that's the core of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Because you chose a path,
Yeah,
right? You
absolutely.
chose a path, and I think everything in universe is connected,
Oh
right?
yes, I
So
do too.
because yeah, so you chose your path, and all these other things are connected. You're just finding your way to
Yes,
them from your
absolutely.
path.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. I always said
it's
breadcrumbs on the
easier
path.
than you think, people. You just have to feel it, be human, use your emotions.
Yeah.
Emotions, I think, are very much a strength of a human being.
Oh, I absolutely love
Um,
that. Yes.
yeah, like you got your logical side, the math side, your creative side, right? But when you put them together with emotion, which is
Mhm.
like a strength that is super, super strong.
Mhm.
It's hard. I mean, like all these songs you're hearing, all these
Oh
movies,
yes.
they are trying to find a way to describe emotion,
Mhm.
right? What is really emotion?
Mhm.
And I think it is way more complex, way stronger than we could even put them in words.
Mhm.
And emotion is within us. We have it. We
Yes.
have it. So we connect all these things. This gets
All
deep.
right.
So
No, I totally agree. And I think, it's really interesting because in our culture, so many people are afraid of emotion that they try to shut it down, ignore it. And I think that really
mhm.
messes people up because I really feel like emotion is my superpower. And that when I
Yes.
use my intuition, I'm following my path intuitively.
Mhm.
And I don't have to make a list of 98 different things to do because I already have the answer and I back into it
Mhm.
intuitively. And,
Mhm.
doesn't
Mhm.
mean I'm not logical because I taught kids for years. I
Mhm.
can do those skills well, but I've
Yeah.
always gone from emotion and what felt right to my body and my energetic field. And that's how I decide. That's why I decide who
Yes.
I align with, basically, what
Mhm.
to do.
Mhm. Mhm. Um, you know, it gets to purpose, okay?
Mhm.
The your purposeful creation.
Yes.
And what I mean by purposeful creation is Um, it starts with what the work is meant to say,
Mm-hmm.
shift or awaken. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
start with the tool, the trend, or the aesthetics,
Yes.
right?
True.
So then it will get to process about the risk and all
Mm-hmm.
those things. Which I think with the book I try to kind of make it a little bit simple to
Yeah.
have like okay, here's the 101. This is how
Yeah.
you get into it. You
Yeah.
know, then you will find your way. And yeah,
I like how you organized your book and about where you say look backwards, find the thread, follow the trail, because it makes it
yes.
very approachable to people that are not familiar with a process of a
Hmm.
creative person. And it
Hmm.
helps you to step into, well, that's what he does. Let me try this. And I think it was
Yeah.
really a wonderful way to to go about explaining something that for us might be something natural, but for other people, maybe they're not familiar to doing that, especially if they're really left
Hmm.
brain. Because left brain people, they're gonna
Yeah.
just make that list 100 ways, and they're never gonna get to the answer because they're still listing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's
Prioritize,
different.
have
You could
what
prioritize.
is, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
what is the, main thing?
The
What's on
main
top
thing.
of the list? And
Yes,
then start from there
and then decide.
and then go down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I love that.
So yeah,
I
so
also
that process matters. Yeah.
yes,
Um,
I like
but
that.
process is not sacred by itself. The process has to serve the message. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes performance, right?
Yes.
So what is really your message? And I bet you everyone has a message because they have a history, they
Yeah.
have a conscious, they have logic, they have creativity, and no matter what, what your opinion is kind of the message too. Communicate that. I think
Yeah.
art is a way to communicate. It's
Yes.
a way to communicate effectively. You
Mm-hmm.
know, right now you and I are speaking, we're talking, right?
Hmm.
But when it comes to art, I mean, like we could probably make art out of our conversation. And then when we look at that art, we're like, wow, this is so meaningful because it
Hmm.
talks about this and that and
Yeah.
process, art line and all that. And that makes it kind of impactful.
Hmm.
People would probably make it pay attention to it more. They think it is something that it is worth paying attention to.
Yeah.
So
It evokes
you
emotion when you see art and when you see color. Certain
yeah.
colors also evoke an emotion. So if you were a color, what
Yes.
color would you be?
Oh, so interesting you asked this. Crazy because this morning I was driving to the office. I was like, what is really my color palette, right? What is really like what is it? Well, my color palette, I think that it is more than okay. I'm big with color, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
nuts. I went and made this crazy board of everything that I know about color. It's like what is the meaning, feeling, what is
Mm-hmm.
luxury color sets, what is this and that. But at the end of the day, when I look at color and me, I come up with this like random thing out of my emotions and
Yes.
not out of what I know. Um,
That's it. Yeah. So what
So
color?
with
What
me,
color?
it's literally kind of three to four colors.
All
It
right.
is this reddish that goes into magenta a little bit.
Okay.
It is blue that a dark blue. It's kind of dark bluish and black, and
Mm-hmm.
a thin white line.
I wrote red here because that was the first color that came in for you. It's so interesting. So intuitively, red is the color of energy and first chakra. Okay. Blue is
Uh,
communication color. Black is past life, but negative past life that you're trying to clear with this white line of this lifetime, which is
yes.
positive.
Oh
was
my God,
and
that's crazy.
deep blue is also that you came in as there's a I'm trying to think of the name of it now, but certain people that were born at a certain time came in as shifters, and that was the deep
Hmm.
blue color that came in. But that was so energetically. That's why I asked you because I had written down some things. Black is also a protective color, so if you're a highly
Hmm.
sensitive human, a lot of you'll see
Hmm.
priests will wear black too. It's to buffer the onslaught of energy from other people, and it's kind of a
Yeah.
protective color. Yeah, so I was curious.
So true. It is,
Yeah,
it's crazy how true that is.
yeah, yeah,
Crazy. Um, I
yeah.
love colors.
I do
Colors
too.
are amazing.
I do. I
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah, as a yeah,
do you
go ahead.
paint also? Do you paint also? Because I know you
Oh
do different
yeah.
parts of, but I hadn't seen your paintings, but I know that you did, animation
Yeah.
and motion design. So I was just curious about that.
Yeah. I used to paint like actual paint
Hmm.
more than digital painting that I do. And my iPad, I have this iPad that goes
Yeah.
with me everywhere.
Yep.
And I use this app Procreate. I'm
Procreate. Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
My son's an
I
artist too,
use
so I get it.
Yeah, I'm always in Procreate. I don't know what I'm doing, but I
You're
feel like I
doing.
have to be in here and just like
Yeah.
paint, do something. So that is an
It's
addiction that I have. It makes me
a
feel
healthy
good.
one. It's a healthy one.
Yeah.
I always used to draw, and I still do. I'm not great at it, but I just love to create things.
Yeah.
So a
Hmm.
lot of mine is the communications and the writing and that, but I do love art, and I
Yeah.
love to go see museums and just I love it. It's just it feeds me, and ancient stuff. That's really neat too. The wisdom
Yeah.
of the ancient art and things. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, ancient I like Egyptian
Egyptian.
history. I
Hmm.
like
Me too.
Persian. I like
Yeah.
Persian history and
Yes.
art. Me being Persian, I guess
Oh, there you go.
I'm kind of drawn to it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, because there's so much like history there. There's so many years, so many people that worked on those and
Yes.
developed those. They're kind of like a library we could use
Yes.
to connect with ourselves, where with our genetics, with our thoughts, that they're all there. They're all there, and they shouldn't be just books that are sitting on the
Um,
shelf, in the library. We should go grab them. You know?
yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I love the library. I know you mentioned something called acrasia, knowing and not doing. And I think that's so interesting because those are people that live in their mind but don't ever take the action
Hmm.
to use what they
Yeah.
know. So I thought that was an
Yes.
interesting term. I'd never heard that one before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do it all the time. I think every person does it. Sometimes we blame it on, oh, we don't have time to get to that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Then it kind of sits there in the back of our mind and we never addressed it, right?
Yeah.
So when we get to stuff like that, I have this little tiny little red notebook. So weird. I write these down and they're just the most random things. I write them down so I could get to them, so I don't forget them. And next time I'm sitting there going like, okay, I did that idea and
Uh-huh.
then did this idea. What the heck am I gonna make? Every day I gotta keep making. What am I gonna make? And
Uh,
then I open this book. I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry. There are hundreds of
there-
stuff in here.
yes. Yep.
Yeah, and whichever I feel like kind of aligns with today and aligns with these times. And I think nowadays, like this year or this time of the year is very important, um, because the planets are kind of
Oh yeah, they're
aligned.
aligned.
There's
Yeah.
this, yeah, they're
Mhm.
we're at this very kind of like transitional
We are.
state, I
Mm-hmm.
think. And there are some of those ideas that come to you are kind of related to that. You need to
Mm-hmm.
immediately do that, otherwise they're gonna get expired.
Love that.
Do
Love that.
do them now. Do them
Do
now.
now,
Don't
do
wait.
now. Yeah, it's so interesting that you mentioned that little book. So when I was teaching kids, one of the things I would have them create is
Yeah.
called a seed notebook, and I'd give each child a little booklet, and I told them write
Yeah.
your inspirations and ideas as soon as they come in, and then put it
Yeah.
aside. And when you need something to write about or something to think about, open your book and pick the one that pulls you in. And that's exactly what
Yes.
you do as a creative. Like, oh, that's really cool, you know? Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
and I do that too. You let the seeds germinate till they're ready to be born and to bloom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. With that, I, I have a little trick that I do with myself. I don't know how you are, but
Hmm.
whenever I do something or say something, I feel like I've done it. So sometimes I don't end up making it.
Hmm.
So when I'm writing it, I don't write it in a way that it's kind of I'm emptying my mind about that topic. I
Hmm.
write bullet forms
Good point.
of what I'm thinking, right? That
Okay.
that event could look like, but I don't kind of empty the
Right, right.
idea
It's just a
completely.
thought, just a thought,
Yeah,
a bullet thought. Yeah,
because I don't know how it is, but automatically later I feel like I've already done it, and
yeah.
I don't want it to be like that.
I get it.
So
Yeah. That's how I do my speeches. So if I'm going to do a talk in public, I'll bullet point what I'm going to say, but just like the
yeah,
bullet, like talk about this, and I'll just have bullet points
hmm
because
yeah.
otherwise it'll be rehearsed, and I don't want to rehearse it. It has to come from the heart. And I know if it's there, I will be able to I'll be able to express it, you know?
Interesting. You
Yeah,
do that as
yeah,
well. I mean,
yeah.
like people are different. Some people do need to do that, and they're not
Hmm.
gonna feel like how I feel
Yeah,
about, oh, I've already done this.
right.
Um, so there's no one general formula
Yes.
um, for this.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
all
I also
depends on
loved
how
your
you operate.
I also loved your chapter 15 where you talk about being a reflective mirror because one of the things that I wrote about, which I also agree with, is that the world mirrors your intention and what you put
Hmm
out to the world tends to mirror back. So if you find
hmm
yourself where everybody's a pain in the neck, you got to look back at
hmm
yourself because you're mirroring
Yeah.
your energy into that space. So it
Yeah.
mirrors back to us. So that's another
hmm
reminder that when you go into the world, just like you want to be your creative self and mirror that
hmm
energy because it'll come back to you and you'll see it. So I
hmm
really loved that chapter in there and that we're conduits. That was another one that I really resonated with, you know,
Yeah.
conduits. Yep.
Yeah. It definitely does. I mean, if you, I kind of um makes me think like sometimes we blame,
Hmm.
we say this has happened because this guy did this,
Hmm.
right? Um, but if we shift that toward what is my role here and
Hmm.
the things I could do, although it's little, it's
Hmm.
tiny, right? To be kind of involved and kind of be part of this is kind of that mirroring, right? So
Yeah,
you're putting yourself in there to not be a blamer,
that's
but
right.
be part of this cycle, be part
Yeah.
of this world, and
Yeah.
not just go put yourself apart, set yourself aside, and go like, okay, um, I will just let whatever that's gonna happen, and whatever the world has to offer, that's just gonna happen. I don't believe in that. I think we are part of this world. And
Hmm.
although, how tiny we are tiny little dust in this universe, we have a role. We have
Hmm.
an opinion. We need to not just be very like flat and go like, okay, we'll let whatever. I think the worst things on earth happened because people let it happen. You
Yes.
know,
Drifting, just drifting. Yeah.
yes. All the wars. I was watching Nuremberg, the remake of Nuremberg, and there's a scene that uh, the character talks about, do you think why this happened here? All the concentration camps and everything happened here.
Hmm.
And he answers with, because people let it.
People let it happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you, I mean,
Yes, I
there you
agree.
have it. That's something to
Yeah,
think
something
about.
to think about, especially now. Wink, wink.
Yes. Wink,
Absolutely.
wink.
Wink, wink, nudge,
It's
nudge.
all time. I mean, like that was history. It would probably happen
Yeah.
again in 20,
History
40
repeats
years.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
This is
human
your life.
experience, we've always repeated. And I think when you go through something like for me, when I go through something personally, I always
Yeah.
say, what did I learn from this situation? What's it teaching me and what's my part in it? And that's how
Hmm.
I go through everything. And that it's kept me from being in a state where you blame somebody or you're angry. It's like, you know what? This is what it is, and this is why it happened. And
Hmm.
that's how you go through life. Like it doesn't damage your heart that way. Then you're like, okay, this is my choice. And that's
Yes.
how I
Yes.
live. What we learn, what we learn.
Hmm.
Oh, good.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I took some other notes here. Um, I was gonna say, um, okay, I was gonna ask you too, because I was looking through your things. I know that you said you play soccer. Do you still play soccer?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a soccer referee.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, my daughter, my older daughter plays soccer,
Okay.
and we're pretty much a soccer family.
Uh-huh.
And I love it. I wear my whistle every day.
Oh,
That
I
I could
love that.
also do that I could
Uh,
also do breath work,
oh,
you
oh, there
know.
you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it whistle and breath work, they have
same
something
thing.
in common.
In and out. So, how old is your daughter?
I have a 13-year-old daughter. Yeah, she's been playing since she was 4. She
Oh,
is really good at what she does and
yeah.
kind of inspired me to get into it as well. I used to play when I was a kid as well,
Hmm.
but inspired me to get back in soccer.
Hmm.
It is, being a referee is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And there's not a single friend that I haven't said, "Hey, do you want to be a referee also?"
Oh, that's great. Pull them all in.
Yeah.
Great. That's
Especially
good.
like if you're getting older,
Uh-huh.
you could get into refereeing because it's not, it could be intense. I mean, like with some of the older kids, you got to run.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with the younger ones, it's not as crazy
Yeah.
and intense as being a player. But it's pretty fun, and it is kind of, I would say, the only sport that people pay you
Hmm.
to exercise.
Oh, there you go. That's a lot of running with soccer. A lot of running. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. It's
Yeah.
fun and it's healthy. It's a way to kind of be part of the community, help
Hmm.
kids,
Hmm.
and yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
that's
fun.
great. Yeah. Well, I spent my life with kids because, I was teaching for so long. So I had a lot of time with little kids, and now, I have
Yeah,
grandkids that are out in another country right now. But
yeah.
yeah, yeah, love the kids. And it's really cool to see like children's art. I love children's
Yeah.
art. The way that they,
Uh-huh.
a person or a tree or it's just so, I just love it. It's just a special way that shows what they're thinking and how their mind works. That's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it reminds me, like sometimes when I referee younger kids,
Mm-hmm.
um, I see so much creativity in their play
Mm-hmm.
and the
Yeah.
things they do, right?
Yeah.
And later on with the older kids and all the confinements
Oh, I
that
know.
they're facing,
It gets squelched.
in that journey,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, what happened to the creativity?
Yeah. It's
What
socialized
happened to
out of
those
them.
kids?
It's socialized out of them. And that it's such a
Yeah.
shame because they say that kids are almost at like a genius level by the age of 8 or 9.
Hmm.
And then as they get
Hmm.
more socialized, it's shut down. And to me,
Yeah.
like your creativity is such a great gift. If you can hold on to that
Yes.
and nurture
Yeah.
it, not like beat the heck out of it when the kids are younger,
Yeah.
then they know to value it. Like my son is an artist and his kids are extremely
Hmm.
artistic. And
Hmm.
because as a kid, I would always say, did you make up a
Mhm.
game? Let's pretend. And a lot of that
Mhm.
imagination stuff, they lose that at a certain age. And that's what
Yeah.
keeps their creativity going when you could imagine a what if and just create
Yeah.
from there. That's what I think.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I think one of the reasons is because as a society, or I would say
Hmm.
parents
Hmm.
raising kids, they think of the results.
Yeah.
We're kind of result based.
Yes.
Is my kid going to be a big painter? Is my
Yeah.
kid going to be Neymar and Messi and Ronaldo, right?
Right. Right.
That's result based,
Right.
right?
It's not process based.
Verse exactly. A
Yeah.
kid is thinking about the process of
Process.
how cool I could carry this ball from this part of the field to the other, right?
Yeah.
And the joy is in that process, like what they're
Yeah.
doing,
Yeah.
versus the parents that are sitting there screaming and yelling,
Oh my
"You
God.
gotta score!
Oh, I
You gotta
know.
score
They
right now!"
suck the joy
Right?
right out of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 making the kid confused that they're gonna end up
yeah.
hating the
I'm a
sport,
bad person
leaving it.
because I didn't get a goal or whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
There's a lot of ego
yeah.
with the
So,
parents too. It's like when your ego is so attached to your kid doing a certain thing, that's when
mhm.
it begins to really negatively impact them. Instead of saying, I really appreciate the effort that you took or the journey you're taking, or even if you made a mess with paints all over the table, you've created something.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah, yeah,
part of life to be a little messy.
yeah. It is. I
Yeah.
mean, enjoying the process, I think, is something that um, artists do very well. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they get really nerdy, really obsessed with what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
so they get good at it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
experiment. They
Yeah.
do this and that. So they end up somewhere good. They end
Right.
up with good results. But
That's
if you
right.
don't do that enough, you're not gonna get to good results,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And how do you do that? By going back to yourself, finding a purpose so you would do this for a longer time and more meaningful um way of doing it. So
Right. And I
that's
think I think
basically.
getting rid of the words I'm not good at. So a lot of kids by the time they reach, let's
Mhm.
say fourth or fifth grade, I'm not good at art. What do you mean you're not good at art? You're great at expressing yourself. Art is expression.
Mhm.
It's not the final product like you're saying. It's the
Yes.
ability just to enjoy expressing yourself. And I always tell people, even
Yeah.
adults I've worked with, just take some watercolors and paint your emotions with
Mhm.
color. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
anything. You don't have to sell it. You don't have to show anybody, but just paint your
Yeah.
emotion with the watercolors. And that's
Yeah.
your expression. It's really expression.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely it is. And we all are creatives. If you think otherwise, that means you have entered um Julia Cameron says, that the state of being a spectator.
Yeah.
And you should read her book, by the way. Have you read The Artist Way by Julia Cameron?
Yes. Yes. Is that the one that turns
Yes.
things upside down? Or because I read that one, but there was one book where, that's drawing with the right side of the brain. That's another one. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
did read
that's a
that other
different
one
one.
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Artist Way
Artist way.
basically is one of my favorite books.
Mhm.
It talks about writing kind of like freehand every
Mm.
morning,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that's on your mind every single day. You
Mm-hmm.
basically wake up a little bit earlier than normal, when
Mm-hmm.
your mind is in a state that,
Mm-hmm.
you're not so attached to
Yeah.
what's happening. You just write and write. And it's a wonderful book. It does talk about this thing that people um, don't nourish their creative side, and
Mm-hmm.
they end up on the spectator side of the world,
Yeah.
that they just watch, they
Watch
scroll
other
nowadays
people.
days.
Yes.
Yeah, instead of creating content, they just
Mm-hmm.
watch content.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, like this book was written many years ago, but
Mm-hmm.
it applies perfectly to today as well. It
Yeah.
is, It's wonderful. You should check it out. The
Yeah.
Artist's Way by Julia Cameron.
Yeah, I know I read that years ago because I had read a lot of things on psychology and art and creativity too because of working with young kids. You know, you bring all this
Right.
into your the teaching, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you if there's anything you want to mention. You talked about your community. So in your meetup masters and your professional community, so are these are like a community of artists and just people that are in the field? Or, I'm imagining it's a Zoom meeting of some sort, or is it an actual gathering? What is it?
Both actually. For years, we used to have in-person meetups, whether, it was at a studio or at Starbucks or at a
Mhm.
restaurant. That was the original way of doing it, and then it turned into sessions that we were doing tutorials,
Oh.
um, and all in one place. And then, we had like different sections for our meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Then, since the pandemic, I would say it kind of turned into Zoom meetings, and we basically kind of network. We try to bring in not only artists, but other people in other professions, and
Yeah.
so they could connect with artists, and artists could kind of show their work and
Mm-hmm.
tell them how good they could be for them. It kind of gives you a sense of community,
Mm-hmm.
and people become friends, and this goes on almost every month. We haven't had a meeting for the past few months, but we will. I've been kind of busy. That was kind of my fault. But I love a sense of community that anybody could participate in. And if there is no community of whatever interest that you have, and you think, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're the only one who is into, an activity or something, that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that that community cannot exist. You could start it yourself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
That's
easy.
good.
Just you could
Yeah.
just post
Like
like,
a
hey,
meetup or
let's meet
something.
up.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a
How
great
how
way.
how can people find you, Nicholas? Or is it? I think you're on LinkedIn. Is that correct? I think I saw you on LinkedIn. You're on a line of.
Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Okay.
If anybody, I have a big digital, you know, print
Yes.
imprint.
Okay.
Yeah, if they just Google me, there are many
Okay.
ways to find me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good. And if there's any way you want me to put in the description when I run this podcast, you can send it to me. You could email it to me, and I'll
Okay.
I'll put it in the description for you. But this has
Oh,
been a
nice.
wonderful
Everyone.
a wonderful experience with you today, and I
Yeah.
really appreciated your
Same here.
time and your energy. It's fascinating. So I hope people look you
Thank
up,
you.
and I hope they buy your book or the art line. And this has been the Lightwalker's Path, and you could reach out for workshop sessions and books at rosemaryd.com. Please subscribe to the podcast and look up Nicholas. He's fascinating. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Take care.